Hey everybody, it's the Reverend here for the Live to Play Network. Doing a quickie little video on who we are, where we've been, how we got to where we are. That's kind of an intro to the next video, which will be where we see things headed from here. Live to Play started out as a magazine originally called Singer, and then Singer and Musician, but we're actually going to go back a bit further than that. Back in the 80s, a guy named Quint Randall combined his passions for music and journalism and created a magazine called Gig. Gig did pretty well for a while, went through some changes. About halfway through its run, he asked Bill Evans to come on board and help grow that publication, which we did pretty well up until about 1990, when the economics of magazine publishing really started to change, and an indie like Gig just couldn't make a go of it anymore, and it stopped publishing in 1990. Quint went on to do a magazine called Hockey Player, which has grown into a very cool website. At the same time, a guy named Bob Lindquist had a magazine called Mobile Beat that covered a lot of the same ground that Gig had, but for mobile entertainers, DJs, and that kind of thing. Quint and Bill never stopped trying to do the whole Gig thing, the working musician thing, and started a website called Level 11, which was noted in the Musician's Guide to the Internet as one of the first couple of web-based magazines specifically for musicians. You can still find that book around someplace, I think. That website got the attention of Miller Freeman, which is now Newbay, publishers of everything from Guitar Player to Pro Sound News. They brought back Gig magazine. Bill was the editor of it for about 7 years. He got downsized, I think that's a nice way to put it, and a week later went to work as the founding editor of Front of House, where he toils to this day, covering the professional audio, concert touring, and theatrical installation markets. Singer-musician was going on, and Bob asked Bill to get involved, which he did, and started writing a series of columns called Live Sound 101. And those columns are now available in a book called Live Sound Fundamentals from Cengage Learning. You can get it on Amazon. But they kind of saw the writing on the wall that everything was changing, and moved hard away from just print and into digital distribution, first by making what had now become Live to Play Quarterly available as a free PDF download. Millions of copies have been downloaded in the last 5 years. And eventually moving almost everything to a website and digital editions that are actually cool and fun to use, and that make sense, unlike the flashy PDF with a page turn animation thing to see around a lot. But we'll talk about that in the next video. Who's part of the team? We've got some really very cool people involved. Liz Lewis, who is the vocal coach for American Idol, and people like Rihanna and Jimmy Eat World. Andrea Bensmiller, who's our social media queen. Bruce Bartlett, who's written about 1 billion books on recording, and he's all over the pro audio business. Writing-wise, Jake Kelly, who is a songwriter out of Nashville and LA, who's written hits for people like Gary Allan, among others. And some other people you might recognize. Jamie Rio, who contributes to what we do, and Steve Lacera. You'll recognize Steve and Jamie from their work with other pro audio publications, ranging from Mix to Live Sound International to even FOH. So there you go. That's where we're at today. That's who's involved. And we're going to show you next where we think this whole mess is heading. And these logos up here, social networking, should be a hint. So that's it. This is the Reverend. I'm out. Hope that helps.